Semi detached homes have absolutely smashed past our record high from last month to $613,000 for a semi detached home in Calgary. It has been a very wild roller coaster for semi detached homes, and let's start to break it down. Hi, my name is Adam Fyfe, your Calgary Realtor. If you're looking to get into the semi detached market, it is very important to set up a game plan. Semi detached are very intense, from very entry level to very luxury, so making sure that you set up a game plan well in advance is super important. Go ahead, book a call. It's the very first link in the description. Let's go. So let's start this off by looking at what the Calgary Real Estate Board has written about semi-detached homes in all of Calgary. With 268 units in inventory and only 240 sales, the months of supply remained exponentially tight at just over 1 month. The persistent tight market conditions have contributed to further price gains for this property type. The benchmark price has actually increased to $613,000, which I talked about at the beginning. This is pretty crazy. The conditions are very tight. It is very competitive for semi-detached homes like every other property type in Calgary. So let's start to break this down. So this chart here will start to break down what's going on with the price point. The red bar is the price, and you can clearly see it's going way up, way past 610,000, reaching 613. The blue bar is the inventory and the green bar is sales. Inventory dropped last year, sales dropped last year, price dropped last year, but this year, opposite. You can see that in the first 2 quarters of the year, sales increased pretty quickly. Inventory somewhat stabled off. It fell a little bit in May, where the sales actually outpaced inventory in May, which I was super surprised to see. I thought that was going to stay persistent. I'm really glad it didn't. It's nice to see some new listings come on the market to try and offset that. The sales slowed down a little bit as well. Pricing has continued to increase. Now, I'm really hoping that new listings come on the market more and more to try and help and offset this price increase. That is still very tight to see the inventory and the sales be that close. If the sales continue to persist past inventory, we're going to see a more increased pricing in the next few months, so keep an eye out for that. Now, when we talk about benchmark price, people are curious of what that is. Now, Calgary has given the attributes for a semi-detached home in Calgary. It is a 3-bedroom, 1 up, or 3 up, 1 down, so 4 in total. It is a double attached garage. It is 2.5 baths, 1,260 square foot. The lot size is 3,000 square feet. It has poured concrete foundation and was built in 2005. So when we go back to this chart here, you can see that those attributes right now for the entire city, the average of the entire city is 613, but each individual quadrant will have slightly more or less price point. So let's kind of dive into that. But before we do that, let's just look at the total sales just to kind of paint a picture of what's going on for the semis. The sales are at the 10-year average. You can actually see they're below 2013 and 14 levels, which is the last time we experienced a boom. They're well below 2022, 2021 levels, which is great to see. But the biggest story in all of Calgary is these new listings. You can see that the new listings are the lowest they've been in the last 10 years. 2020 was the last time during the pandemic that we saw this low of new listings come on the market, which is really unfortunate to see. You can see that 2018, 19, 20, 21, actually 13, 14, 15 all really look the same. And then this year, there's just not enough new listings. A lot of people that wanted to sell sold. Now we're just kind of waiting for more people to go ahead and sell their product. Semis are super interesting because the price points are massive. But when we look at the total inventory, I've talked on this on every other property type video, you can see that the total inventory in all of Calgary and total residential is fallen greatly. So with sales slowing down, really good to see. New listings greatly slowing down, not good to see. I would argue that if the inventory stays persistently low, we're going to see an increase in price point. Now, to continue on, this is how we're going to start and relay this to your personal information, or sorry, your personal situation. You can see that this is the microeconomic outlook for semi-detached homes in all of Calgary. On the left, we'll start with the sales in each quadrant, the new listings in each quadrant, and then the sales to new listing ratio. You can see that the sales to new listing ratio is only 75% on average. These are the inventory, or the amount of homes left over at the end of the month. You can see that the numbers are quite small. I mean, there's 20s, 15s, 11s in there. Very small numbers. City center, quite large. Ultra luxury, semi-detached home compared to a lot of other quadrants. The months of supply is at 1.1, basically being driven up by the city center because of the majority. Everything really is at 1 or less months of supply, which is very clearly a strong seller's market. Now, when we talk about these attributes that we talked about at the beginning, these are those price points for individual quadrants. You can see that city center is $847,000 for those attributes. You go down to northeast, $377,000 for those attributes. Pretty wild difference Calgary Northeast is only 15 minutes away from downtown. Very, very, very close. You can see that this is the year-over-year percentage increase and then the month-over-month percentage increase. Now, pretty wild to see some of these price increases. There's really no slowing down in sight. I'm very surprised to see this much activity in the semi-detached market. And where is it going to end, right? Is it going to slow down anytime soon? This chart here just showcases a quick 5-year recap of that price point. I'll go back to it, I'll say it again. If the inventory stays low, the new listing stays low, and the sales stay relatively flat, if not increase, we're gonna see some price increasing. So we need to make sure that we're getting into the market prepared and educated. If you have any questions about the semi-detached market here in Calgary at all, it's very important to set up a game plan. So reach out to me, send me a text, email, book a call on my calendar, and let me talk to you about your personal situation and how we're going to best reflect that into this market. So thank you very much. I appreciate your time. I hope you have yourself a lovely day, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace.